My immune system was totally shot. Fortunately, you don't have to wait around for the worst. You can up your antibodies before COVID comes knocking. Because when your antibodies are up, well, you can get back to what you love.
Our biggest sale of the year is held over, so there's still time to get Black Friday deals during our huge Thanksgiving sale held over at Slumberland Furniture. Incredible prices, plus get 30% off on top of that store-wide. Get your final chance for Black Friday deals and 30% off? Yep, held over. And don't forget, mattress shopping is easy, fast, and comfortable at Slumberland. Come see our difference and get a great sale on a mattress today.
Straight ahead, Wisconsin taking center stage in an investigation. We'll learn about a county clerk's connection to January 6th.
And a local school is taking the classroom to a fish hatchery. We'll have the details as your local news starts right now.
News Watch 12 with Dan Hagan, Jessica Jukic, and Conrad Sapinski.
Good evening and welcome to News Watch 12 at 5. I'm Dan Hagan.
And I'm Jessica Jukic. Election officials in Wisconsin received federal subpoenas Tuesday. It's all part of a national investigation into the January 6th attacks at the U.S. Capitol.
Those officials include the county clerk of Dane County here in Wisconsin. Reporter Will Kennelly spoke with him and has more.
Just any communications I'd have with any of them, either by text or email or whatever.
Those are the kind of documents federal investigators are looking for. Any communication from a series of officials tied to the Trump 2020 campaign to the Dane County clerk.
Really, very little came from that, other than there are the transcripts of the recount. So one of the names on there, Jim Trupus.
That search only flagged one result, Dane County Attorney Jim Trupus. He worked on behalf of the Trump campaign in Wisconsin, helping them file for a recount.
Some of the other things, he worked on the recount here in Dane County and Milwaukee. So I had a fair amount of interaction with him during that. So those transcripts are part of what we are sending over today.
Trupus made transcripts of those conversations, which McDonald took on as a public county record. McDonald sent those to investigators ahead of Friday's deadline. The Milwaukee County clerk was subpoenaed as well and had similar interactions with Trupus, nuts and bolts conversations about the recount.
A lot of it was pretty mundane, but there were several efforts to exclude tens of thousands of votes of Dane County voters. You can kind of see how they were working backwards. We need 20,000 votes, so let's try to toss out that many from Dane and Milwaukee.
Conrad, it snowed today, which was a pleasant surprise for me.
Yeah, it looks like a winter wonderland outside.
I bet a lot of people were hoping for more, though. It ended up being maybe an inch or two.
Yeah, just under an inch, Dan, but just to the west of us, a lot more piled up. Taking a look outside, though, temperatures are definitely favorable for all of this snow, as we only had high temperatures in those mid to upper 20s today. And look at the north and west. Ashland only in those mid-teens. So temperatures are cold and colder what they're supposed to be for this time of year. We should be hovering at around 30 degrees as a high, around 14 as a low. Look at that, 1936, 23 degrees below zero. None of that going on here, folks, so we are lucky in that field, but still, it is cold. 16 degrees is what it's cooled down to right now. So it's been cooling down, and that will continue to happen overnight tonight as it will get cold outside. Not much going on either, besides a little bit of wind blowing, really creating a feels-like temperature in the single digits. But for the most part, most of that snow has disappeared. It is dissipating and continuing to move east. And as it does, decreasing amount of cloud cover continues here in town, but temperatures are decreasing also. We'll continue to have a low temperature tonight, hovering around 7 degrees. Dan?
Thanks, Conrad. A Wisconsin dairy farm is going to court over their improper management of manure. State prosecutors filed criminal charges against a Kewanee farmer and 2 others who allegedly dumped nearly 3 million gallons of manure that washed into the tributaries of Lake Michigan. All 3 defendants are charged with felony counts of conspiracy and fraud. According to a criminal complaint, the farmer had accumulated too much manure at his dairy operation in late 2019 and hired a hauler to spread it to avoid a permit violation. The complaint alleges that the person who spread the manure gave the farmer a false report saying he had spread much less. DNR agents found records indicating that all 3 defendants were aware of the fabricated record.
The FDA is taking steps to make certain naloxone products more readily available to help reverse overdoses. Naloxone can be given as an injection or as a nasal spray, but right now it's only available by prescription, and the FDA signaled last month it hopes to change that. One brand name of naloxone is Narcan. It's commonly used by first responders in a confirmed or suspected overdose. Now, the drug maker Emergent BioSolutions has announced its over-the-counter Narcan spray has been granted priority review by the FDA to potentially become over-the-counter. Emergent BioSolutions says it submitted data from safety and effectiveness studies from the time its Narcan nasal spray was approved in 2015. According to the company, the product could be available without a prescription by the end of March.
Aspires Health is offering a free flu shot clinic in Rhinelander. Next week, they will be at the YMCA of the Northwoods offering 50 free flu shots. The flu shot is available for people ages 18 to 64. The clinic will be held on Thursday, December 15th from 8 a.m. to noon at the YMCA of the Northwoods.
More than half of Wisconsin high school seniors reported having significant problems with feeling very anxious, nervous, or scared. That's according to a new health risk survey. The results are the first picture of Wisconsin students' mental health since the onset of the pandemic. The results were publicized by the Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction, which called for drastic action. The Youth Risk Behavior Survey goes out every 2 years to sample of schools across the country selected to inform the county, state, and national reports, including 43 Wisconsin high schools. The national results have not yet been shared for 2021. The Hodag won the Scorebook Live contest on November 1st for the best high school mascot in America.
Not only did the Hodag win, it more than doubled the amount of the second place vote getter by around 180,000 votes. The school district of Rhinelander is hosting a Hodag Day at the Dome to celebrate this win. Newswatch 12's Saul Meyer is there right now. Saul, why don't you tell us what's going on down there?
Well, Dan and Jessica, it is a party here at the Hodag Dome. We're here celebrating the Hodag being named the best high school mascot in America, and the kids behind me are loving it. Guys, are we having fun? Yeah! We're here. There are a bunch of treats, a bunch of inflatables going on here. The Hodag's even making an appearance, and the party here goes on until 7 o'clock tonight. It's going to be an absolutely great event. Tons of events celebrating the Hodag being named the best high school mascot in the country. Well, reporting here live from the Hodag Dome, I'm Saul Meyer, Newswatch 12.
Thank you, Saul. An Indian community and a casino are partnering to help those in need in the western UP. The Lackview Desert Band of Lake Superior Chippewa Indians and Northern Waters Casino in Watersmeet, Michigan, are working to collect non-perishable goods for local food pantries. The casino's employees turned the drive into a friendly competition. Employees have challenged each other to see who can collect the most food.
I think it's fun. We've already had quite a bit donated. Every little bit helps, even if it can just be one can or one box of cereal or whatever it may be. That one box will make a difference in somebody's life.
The public can also donate to the food drive. If you want to contribute, you can drop your non-perishable goods at the casino until January 18th. A new project in Eagle River is bringing the real world into the classroom. Students of the elementary school have taken up a new hobby, caring for fish.
Thanks to the help of the DNR, their project is now 2 months in the making. Newswatch 12's Matt Weaver checked out their science experiment and joins us in studio with more. Matt?
Well, that's right, Dan and Jessica. As the Northwoods continues to see lower numbers for walleye, it's not often that you see students bridging that gap to repopulate the waters. So the teachers of Eagle River had an idea. Why not adopt a few and let the students learn real science in real life?
Is exactly what we do at the hatchery. It's just a much larger scale.
Bump nose, spin, day, night, and baby big mama. It's really cool that we, at this age, can learn about fish and walleye.
The fourth grade teachers of Eagle River Elementary wanted a real-world application for conservation.
We talk about how the walleye numbers have been decreasing and why it's important that we are learning about the walleye, how we can take care of them, and how can they take that back into the real world.
So they enlisted the help of the DNR to install a mini hatchery in the school.
Every fish counts, so if we can contribute to that in any way, that's fantastic.
Fish culture technician Tom Lorenzen got them started, showing them what it takes to raise fish.
Walleyes are real fickle. They require very specific water quality parameters. And if something gets out of whack, they're going to go belly up pretty quick.
It wasn't long before these students took charge.
Every morning they come down and they're so engaged in taking care of the walleye that I never have to remind them to do it. They do it all on their own and they're very independent.
But there's more to it than just feeding the 5 fish.
Me and Leia kind of put our arms in the tank, get the minnows on the bottom, and then these two help out with the pH.
I do the nitrate.
The ammonia levels and...
Look at you guys, you sound like scientists.
What started as a simple experiment has now developed a new generation of environmentalists.
We want them to be aware for the future. So to be able to start that in them and watch the joy of them taking care, it's neat to see that. And I can't wait to see what they'll do in their future with this project.
The smaller operation hopes to release the fish back into the rivers and lakes of Vilas County, and they expect to do so this upcoming spring.
Thanks, Matt. While many people don't care for cold days, they do go well with chili.
Coming up, we'll head over to Anago for the sights and sounds of their annual chili cook-off. That's after Weather with Conrad right here on Newswatch 12.
Music every weekend, never a cover, and drinks priced right. TV, pool, darts, and more. It's Happy's Pub in downtown Woodruff.
Bremen Merrill Ford thanks you for your business this year and wishes you a safe and happy holiday season.
Hodag Express Lube wishes you and your loved ones a very happy holiday season and a prosperous new year.
Protecting the people and businesses in our community is our highest priority. Our combined 126 years of history connects you to some of the best carriers in the business, like Auto Owners Insurance. Together, Klinner and Meyer Insurance bring even more expertise and more ways to protect you, all with the same unwavering support and a single commitment, protecting what matters most in your world. Together, we are Klinner Insurance. Your world protected.
Are you putting off your window replacement project because of the weather? Did you know that Renewal by Andersen will replace your windows any time of the year and in any weather? Our beautiful replacement windows are made with exclusive Fibrix material, which is vastly superior to vinyl, never needs painting, and resists warping and bowing. They're custom built in the USA and installed with precision and care by our certified master installers. Plus, both our product and our installation are backed by the nation's best warranty.
I don't have to worry what the weather is outside because I know my windows are custom for this climate.
Any season is the right season to improve and transform the look of your home and add value. Call Renewal by Andersen for your free, no obligation design consultation. Don't miss this money-saving deal with great financing. Installation is always included. Call now.
And welcome back. We did have some snow showers earlier today. Didn't last long from the early morning hours till around 1 p.m. It was snowing. We piled up close to an inch of snow here in the Northwoods. Now it is long gone. All of that has continued to move east, and as it does, more clear skies for us. And that's exactly what we got going on right now. Some decrease in clouds, and that's going to continue into tonight. And then same thing into tomorrow with not much going on in the upper Midwest. That little low passed by with a couple of snow showers. A little bit of rain to the south and some more rain in the northeast. But overall, we are clear the next couple of days. We do have a little bit of a snow depth, around an inch of snow, maybe a little bit less in some spots. And the more north and west you go, the more snow you're going to get. closer to Ashland and places around here in those darker blue colors have around 5 to 6+ inches of snow. So here in Rhinelander, not much going on. We had some snow showers earlier, but more snow is on the way. So there's going to be another low pressure system on Friday. That's going to continue to stay more south. So Madison area will get some snow. And then for us, some cloud cover, maybe some flurries. But the bigger question is what happens Saturday? So Saturday, there's going to be another low moving in. A little bit more snow showers, but here in the Northwoods, not only down south, close to Chicago, Milwaukee, and Madison area, but we will also get in on some snow in the Northwoods here in Rhinelander as well. That's going to happen around Saturday time frame. But now let's talk about these cold temperatures outside. Look at all this cold air coming in from Canada, all those purple and pink colors. That's going to continue to push down south. And as it does, everybody will be in on some colder weather. Even down south here, closer to Georgia, same thing by Florida area, as they are nice and toasty right now in the 60s and 70s. But bigger changes are on the way as that cold front continues to push south. Winds not looking bad either right now. Last couple of days were a bit windy. Today, though, not much going on, but take a look at this wind. All of it is pretty much blowing from the north. That means cold temperatures are rolling in as well. The winds will actually be a lot more windier, and that happens in the next couple of days. By Friday, we start to get in on some more breezier type of winds, and then same thing into Saturday. Tonight, though, not much going on with the wind, but those temperatures will get cold. International falls at 10 below right now. For us, though, tonight, temperatures will be in those mid-single digits, mostly clear skies, so a nice weather to go out and look at the stars. Tomorrow, lots of sunshine, temperatures around 30 degrees under mostly sunny skies, and our 7-day outlook brought to you by Northwoods Furniture and Mattress does show a little bit of snow by Friday, especially down south, and more snow by Saturday, then once again by Tuesday into Wednesday. Dana, Jessica?
Thanks, Conrad. Today, Russian President Vladimir Putin said the threat of nuclear war is increasing. The Russian leader's comments came in a meeting at the Kremlin with Russia's Human Rights Council. Putin said Russia's nuclear strategy is based on the idea of the so-called retaliatory strike, but he wouldn't commit it to not striking first. He also seemed to criticize the U.S. for having, in his words, U.S. nuclear weapons scattered across Europe, while Russia, he says, has not moved nuclear weapons past its borders.
The U.S. Supreme Court is taking on a case that could upend electoral politics and embolden state legislatures to act without judicial oversight. Supporters of former President Trump relied on versions of the so-called independent state legislature doctrine during efforts to overturn the 2020 election. Now, North Carolina Republican lawmakers are asking the justices to adopt the long-dormant legal theory in a fight over redistricting maps. They say it allows state legislatures to set rules in federal elections without any constraints by state courts or other state authorities. But voting rights groups say the position would lead to state legislators having absolute authority without judicial oversight. For 25 years, the Antigo community has come together for the annual chili cook-off.
That's right. Contestants bring out their ground beef, chili powder, beans, and tomatoes, all to see who has the best dish in all of Langlade County. A couple of hours ago, the chilies were all collected to be judged on aroma, consistency, taste, and texture. And this year, over 40 contestants came out at around 8 to start cooking the warm dishes.
And then we judge it starting around 3:30. And then chili samples are handed out at 5:30, which brings the crowd down for the parade that begins at 6:30.
Today, Kyle Pazorski, our reporter, spoke with a few of the competitors who braved the snow, some in tents and shacks, who all agree it's a great way to bring the community together.
It gets people together. I think everybody enjoys the Christmas lights, they enjoy the parade, they enjoy the free chili, and it's just a good way for your community to come together.
Jody has actually won in previous years, and she's hoping for another win today. But as mentioned before, the results don't come in until 5:30. That's when the public is invited to try a cup. Later on, in about an hour, the holiday parade will begin right on 5th Avenue. A couple in Florence County are getting into the Christmas spirit with a light display.
Plus, Wisconsin emergency responders made a daring save for a dog. We'll have those stories after the break.
Let's go Christmas shopping at Mills. Find trusted outdoor brands for this season's activities. Get outside and spend time doing the sports you love. Cross-country skiing, snowshoeing, or ice fishing. Or enjoy casual sport clothing for all occasions. Mills Trading Post, a downtown Rhinelander landmark.
At Batteries Plus, we power family road trips. We power bedtime stories. We power our local hospitals. We power connections with friends. We do more than replace batteries and fix phones and tablets. We help our neighbors power their lives. How powerful is that?
Visit Batteries Plus for free auto battery testing and installation. Get powered in-store, curbside, and at batteriesplus.com.
It's the most wonderful time of the year at Cellcom. Save $500 on Google Pixel 7 or Google Pixel 7 Pro with 128 gigabytes of storage. Or save $200 on all other smartphones. Plus, activate a new smartphone line and get a free Google Pixel watch. Finish up your holiday gift giving and save $150 on all cameras, tablets, and smartwatches. No trade-in required. Visit Cellcom.com/holiday deals for details.
Chicago PD! This man has zero options. I'm still getting used to the technology. We wait any longer, he dies.
What's going on?
The grenade. It's still in his leg. It didn't detonate. We need to get Turbine in there. What's happening? Where's Stella? Your son has been trafficking girls. My son is not that! You can't save him from this.
Let's go Christmas shopping at Mills. Find trusted outdoor brands for this season's activities. Get outside and spend time doing the sports you love. Cross-country skiing, snowshoeing, or ice fishing. Or enjoy casual sport clothing for all occasions. Mills Trading Post, a downtown Rhinelander landmark.
A Florence County home is already in the Christmas spirit. A holiday light show is open for anyone to see. It's tucked right off of US 2, and it's a colorful Christmas display. This is the third year Jennifer Jokey and her husband have showed off their holiday spirit in Florence County.
When we bought the place, we actually had never seen it before. We just saw that it was on the highway and thought that would be good so people could see it. So we like the lights. And we don't have any kids at home anymore. And, so the whole presents and things doesn't happen. So this is something that we can do that's still festive.
The house is located at 5003 US 2, the last home before reaching the Brule River Bridge coming into Michigan. The light show is open every day, free of charge, from 4:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. First responders in the town of Peshtigo were forced to make a harrowing rescue yesterday.
Emily Roberts has more on how crew members managed to get a stuck dog out of some freezing waters.
Peshtigo first responders take on their first ice rescue of the season. For a dog, Calvin, the Australian Shepherd, navigated across the thin, cracked terrain of the iced-over river before Mother Nature took over. He ended up over 200 feet from shore in the freezing waters.
We had one of our firefighters go and attempt to get out there first, but it just wasn't going because you couldn't walk on it, you couldn't lay on it. It was just really difficult.
The town of Peshtigo Fire Department quickly brought an inflatable rescue boat capable of gliding over ice to help.
One of their captains from the town of Peshtigo, Derek Manette, and a lieutenant from our department, Dave Swatnicki, jumped on board, grabbed some paddles, and started breaking ice and going out to the dog. The dog was doing a lot of barking, and everybody from shore was encouraging him to make sure he continued doing well.
First responders brought Calvin back to shore. They wrapped him in a warm blanket before his owners rushed him to the vet. Calvin spent 37 minutes in the water. His temperature dropped so low, the vet couldn't even get a read on it. But thankfully, he's at home and making a speedy recovery.
He just is an active dog that wanted to go harass the geese, and he got him in trouble.
The fire chief says any humans taking to the ice this winter should check conditions ahead of time.
What we had out there maybe was a half inch at the most, quarter to a half inch, and you don't want to be on that if you don't have to be. Ice is going to be forming, but it doesn't mean that it's going to be safe. So really, no ice is really safe.
In Peshtigo, Emily Roberts, Action 2 News.
This December, play at the Mole Lake Casino and Lodge during the 23 days of Christmas. Redeem 25 same-day points at one of our kiosks and pick a gift from the Mole Lake Christmas tree. Only at the Mole Lake Casino and Lodge.
Ready, Dad?
All charged up.
This holiday season, Ford wants to help you shine bright with a special offer on select Ford vehicles. Choose a vehicle in stock or simply place a custom order. Lock in your rate and you're protected, even if rates go up before your order comes in.
So much.
And that's how Ford is helping you,
Proud of you, kid.
shine bright. This season, choose FlexBuy on a 2022 Escape or Edge SUV and get 0% financing for 66 months at your local Ford dealer and shine bright.
Bassett Jewelers and Engraving in downtown Minocqua is a full-service traditional jewelry store, offering a wide range of jewelry and gift items to fit any budget. Find jewelry from classic diamonds to beautiful colored gems and pearls. Engagement rings and wedding bands for every style. Gift selections include jewelry travel cases, glassware, picture frames, and an extensive line of baby gifts. In-store jewelry repairs and engraving to personalize your gifts. Come visit us at Bassett Jewelers and Engraving in downtown Minocqua.
Aiello's, the home of the Godfather Grinder, offering sandwiches, pasta salads, soups, delicious scratch-made hand-tossed pizzas, and more. All made to order with the freshest ingredients. Party platters for any occasion, large or small. Call ahead to order yours. See you soon at Aiello's.
Cut the cord and turbocharge your next project with Bosch cordless power tools from Menards. Bosch's battery system delivers a power pack solution designed to tackle the toughest jobs. Rip, cut, drill, and drive with Bosch power tools. Faster charging speeds, longer run times, and lasting durability. You can expect the best performance out of your tools with Bosch. Pick up the Bosch 18-volt impact driver today for only $99.
Save big money at Menards.
For the most up-to-the-minute info on your school closings, visit WJFW.com on your computer, your tablet, or your phone. WJFW School Closings, sponsored by Builder Service Incorporated, Menke Buick GMC Mazda, and People's State Bank.
Celebrate and play at the Mole Lake Casino and Lodge. Win cash during New Year's Eve drawings December 30th and 31st. Redeem 25 same-day points per entry. Entertainment each evening starting at 8 p.m. Only at the Mole Lake Casino and Lodge.
It was so beautiful outside today with the snow falling, and that was just like the perfect amount of snow, make everything look beautiful outside.
Whoa. Perfect amount of snow, Jessica?
Perfect.
Let's disagree a little bit. We'll agree to disagree. You know, I would have liked some more, but, you know, it's still nice to get some.
There's still time.
I agree with both of you guys. I mean, that's a good debate. How much snow is a perfect amount? For me, I'd say maybe 5-6 inches, and making it look like a nice winter wonderland. We didn't have that today, but still around an inch of snow in the region. Just west of us, there were a couple of spots that had around 2 inches of snow, especially by the UP. But now it is long gone. It's a quick-moving system. We just have some decrease in cloud cover right now, and that's going to set us up for some cold times ahead. Talking about tonight. Right now we have temperatures in the mid-teens, so 16 degrees here in town, 15 just up north by Eagle River. That feels like temperature is much colder than that. Eagle River coming in with a 6-degree feels like temperature, so it's feeling pretty cold outside, folks. Bundle up. Our 7-day outlook does show some snow on Friday. This is going to stay south of Rhinelander, mostly south of Wausau area. On Saturday, we will get a couple more shots of snowfall, and then by next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, another low starts to move in.
A lot of 30s in that forecast.
A lot of 30s.
Thank you, Conrad. That's all the time